Hello, welcome to Art History 2 in the summer session of 2022, summer 2022. That's wild to me, time isn't real. Anyway, hi, I am your professor. My name is Megan Rosen, and you can call me Megan. You're in college, that's fine with me. Don't try that with all your professors. Some people are really funny about things. You can also call me Ms. Rosen or Instructor Rosen or Professor Rosen. If calling me Megan makes you uncomfortable, that's fine. I don't care. Whatever. Just, pronounce my name correctly, that kind of thing. It's all good. Okay, so what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to go through how the course is set up in Canvas and just kind of go over with you how it works. And then I'm going to tell you about me. I'm going to do like an overview of our introductions assignment and also introduce myself to you so you can learn who this person is that you see that's going to be telling you all the information this summer. And then I'm also going to go over our syllabus. Super fun first day stuff, right? Okay, so first of all, I imagine most of you are familiar with Canvas. You've probably had courses of some kind that required you to use Canvas in the past. If not, that's okay. I'm going to go over it right now. Thing one is, when you're navigating Canvas, don't just go to assignments. I want you to go to the home page or modules page. They're the same thing because I set the modules as the home page, because it's not just assignments in this class. It's a lecture-based class. All the information comes through videos of me talking to you about art history. So you really need to be able to see everything, or you're going to miss information and not know how to do things, and then you'll do them incorrectly, and then you won't learn the information, and then you'll do poorly in your quizzes, and then you'll be sad, and I'll be frustrated, and it's just silly. So just make sure that you're navigating by the home page or the modules page so you can see everything. The welcome is this video, so you found that. Congratulations, that's step one. And then you'll notice the way everything is set up by modules. So in introductions, we have a couple of assignments that I want you to work on this week. So you'll watch this video, then you'll go to introductions and introduce yourself, and I'll hop back up there in a little bit and tell you about me. You also have this assignment called Looking at Art. So one of the things that can kind of help you out in Canvas that you probably already know, but I'm going to tell you anyway, is looking at these icons. So if it looks like this, it's a page. That means when you click on it, it's just going to have information for you. So most of the videos we look at in this class are me, and will be my head in a little bubble in the corner like this, and then in the background there'll be like a kind of like slides, like a PowerPoint presentation with images of artwork, and I'll be telling you about what's going on in the images. This is not a video of me. This is a video from an art museum with two art historians talking about how to visually analyze and look at art. So I want you to watch this, and it's going to give you some basic information that is helpful. Basically, it just breaks down these kind of steps. I also have an infographic here, so sometimes I'll link things that aren't videos. Videos will be embedded like this, but sometimes there'll be a link where you click it, and then it pops up, and then it wants me to pick which thing to open it with, which is annoying because they've updated all the stuff on my computer. Where did it go? Well, that's not super. Okay, so, all right, it's opening it with Paint for some stupid reason. Anyway, you'll get something that'll pop up that has more information. So this is a nice just kind of visual showing you how to analyze an artifact using visual analysis, which is also what they go over in this video. So that's a page, right? So if it has this icon, it's a page. That means there's information for you to engage with. A lot of times it's videos. Sometimes there's PDFs linked that have like the presentation slides, for example, from the videos in them. But basically, if you see that, it means you need to click on it to get the information you need for the class. Then you see things like this. If you have these two little speech bubbles, that means it's a discussion. We have a lot of discussions in this class. There'll be one for each unit, each module in the class. This is our introduction. I will post this video here in a minute when I get finished recording it. But basically, if you see those two little icons, those two little speech bubbles as an icon, that means it's a discussion. Also, if you see something like this, which is a piece of paper with writing on it, that means it's an assignment that you're just going to turn in. We have a couple of these. The first one is Looking at Art in Practice. In this, after you get all the information from the Looking at Art page, you'll click here and you're going to see an image that I have randomly chosen for you, and you're going to write a response and submit it here. And using this information that you've picked up from visual analysis, you're going to tell me about the image you see. I know that you don't know the image. That's okay. The point is to practice. What I don't want you to do is reverse image search that image, and I can tell if you do that. Okay? So don't do that, because that's not the point. I don't want you to like reverse image search and then read me a Wikipedia article. I can do that myself. I also have 2 master's degrees. I can do research. What I want you to do is look at the image and use your powers of observation to describe it to me and tell me what you see and kind of tell me what you think it is. Okay? That's the point of the practice. The rest of the units outside this first one, which is introductions, refer to different movements or time periods in art history. So our first one is a really big one. It is the Renaissance and the Baroque. Okay, so this is Art History 2. It starts with the Renaissance, which is starts at the very earliest in the early 1400s. Okay, so that's the tail end of the Middle Ages. And then it goes all the way, this class, Art History 2, goes all the way from the Renaissance in the 1400s all the way up through contemporary art, which is happening right now. So it's a ton of information to fit into one class. So I've broken them down a little bit. And this first one is Renaissance and Baroque. Baroque is the period in Europe that directly follows the Renaissance. So I've even further broken that down. So we have early Renaissance in Northern Europe, we have Renaissance in Quattrocinque, Italy, et cetera, et cetera. So you'll see all of these have pages, and when you click on them, you will have a date that I want you to do this by. So there's one this week, which is our early Renaissance in Northern Europe. And I tell you a little bit of information about it, and then I sometimes give you a timeline. I don't do this in every section, but in the earlier ones I do. Sometimes I'll link articles that I just have run across that I think are interesting that you might like. That's further information. And then there's always a link to the PDF of the images I use in the lecture. And then the most important thing is the lecture. All of my lectures I've recorded and put on YouTube. I always embed them, so you just click this and it'll pop up and play for you. But you can also go directly to YouTube, and I have on my channel a playlist for each class. So there's a playlist for Art History 2 that has all the lectures on it. I also embed them unit by unit here, but just so you know they're there. The reason I do that is because YouTube automatically presents things in either standard definition or high definition. So even if you don't have the best internet connection, you can watch things in standard definition and get the information. Okay, and then if you need a higher res info about it, if you're watching it in standard definition, you can download the PDF that has all the images I'm talking about. I talk kind of fast, so feel free to pause me if you want to go and investigate this further. So each unit will have things like lectures, each in a page with notes and a lecture about the topic here. And then you'll also sometimes have additional reading. I'll sometimes include more reading that I think you might find interesting. You'll always have a discussion. So there are 2 little bubbles, so we know this is a discussion. And in your discussion, I will assign you a piece of artwork or a historic building that you then research, and then you're going to tell us about your research in the discussion. So I used to always have formal research essays in art history classes, and I don't do that anymore. I found it really frustrated students and stressed them out, and they seem to not absorb the information as well because they were so worried about the researching and proper writing. So what I've done for the last couple years that I think works really well is I assign you a topic. You go on the internet, and please go to our library. Our librarians are amazing. They will help you do all the things. And then you just read several things about your whatever you're assigned. So if you're assigned the Mona Lisa, one of you is assigned the Mona Lisa, probably you will go and just read a bunch of things about the Mona Lisa. Then you'll come back to the discussion, you'll post a picture of whatever you're researching, and then under it, in your own words, you're just going to tell us what you learned about this, okay? And I have some pretty specific parameters generally. This has the wrong date. I need to update these for summer dates. But basically, you're going to put your image of your assigned topic, and then you're going to tell us things about this person. So you're going to tell us, for example, who's the artist who made the work? What is the work made out of? When was it made? What is being shown in the artwork? Is it telling some kind of story that relates to mythology or religion or something? Tell us what's going on in it. Okay, so I kind of lay all this out. So you do that, and then you go back and you make comments on at least 2 of your peers' research posts, okay? So that we engage in some dialogue. If someone asks you a question when they're commenting or responding to your post, go back and answer their question. That's part of it, right? Sometimes I'll hop in there and ask some questions too. Okay, so this is how this works, and I will change the date on this, and I'll put your names and actually assign you. These are the assignments from last semester. I just haven't changed it over yet. Okay, so you'll have one of those for each module. The other thing you'll have in each module is this thing with a rocket ship. That's a quiz. So you have little bitty quizzes each module. They're only worth 10 points, so they're not super high pressure. I will only ever ask you about things that were in the lectures for that unit, okay? And then occasionally I have this written piece called a unit reflection. What this is you, in your own words, tell me what stuck out to you about the unit. And this is something that's been proven by all kinds of educational research. It helps you remember information. It's called metacognition. And it's you thinking about thinking. Ooh. So it's you thinking about what you've learned and what we've talked about in this unit, and then you writing about it, and it helps your brain kind of store that information away. But you don't have one of those every unit. Okay, so same kind of thing. Some units are smaller than others. This one's the Rococo, the Enlightenment, and Neoclassicism, so only 3 things instead of, this one has more than that. But they all have the same kind of thing. We have our quiz, we have our discussion. This one also has a reflection. They might all have reflections. No, I don't think so. This one doesn't. Romanticism, realism, photography. So basically, the whole class is set up like that. Then at the end of the semester, we do have a comprehensive final exam. I do give you a study sheet for that, and it's also open note because you take it online. So it's comprehensive, but there's no reason you shouldn't ace it. Okay? All right, so let's go back up here and let me introduce myself to you. So the thing that I want you to do today or tomorrow is to go in and do your introduction post, or at least just get it done before Friday, right? And this is just to help you get to know each other, because you're going to interact in the discussions in every unit, but also to help me get to know you and remember your names and kind of attach like who you are and what you're interested in when you post, so that I can remember you as well. I'm pretty good at names. In seated classes, I generally have all the names in like the first week. In online, it's tricky because I don't really see your faces, but I like to read all your work and get to know you. So, okay, for this thread. These are the things that I want you to post about yourself. Tell me your name, especially if your name is different than how it pops up in Canvas. Like your name's Christopher, but you go by Chris. Tell me that. You go by something totally different than your name. That's fine with me. Just tell me what it is, and I will call you by the thing that you go by. Also, tell me your pronouns. My name's Megan. I go by Megan, and I use she, her pronouns, but I don't mind they, them. That's fine with me. But do you use she, her? Do you use he, him? Do you use they, them? Okay, so let me know, and that way when we're addressing each other in Canvas online, we're using the correct pronouns and the correct name for everybody. Good. Okay, tell me your area of study. You may not have one, and that is fine. You might be here getting a general associate's degree. Just tell us that. You might be here working on a transfer degree. You might be taking this class in the summer because it didn't fit in your schedule at whatever school you're at. But tell us what you're studying there. Or if you're doing a transfer degree, what do you want to transfer to do? Just kind of let us know your area. That's always interesting. You might also just be taking this for your humanities credit. That's totally fine. But just tell us what is it that you're doing. Are you doing the dental program? Are you going to be in the new plaster manufacturing center, learning how to do machining and that kind of thing? Or what's your area? Okay. Where are you from? If you're from Springfield, what high school did you go to? So I'm originally from Springfield, and I'm now back in Springfield, and I went to Glendale High School, which is still a school, even though I'm very old. That kind of thing. Let's see. Do you have a favorite visual artist? If the answer is no, that's okay. Maybe you will find one this semester. That's fun. My favorite visual artist, I have so many, it's hard for me to narrow it down, but my go-to answer is Helen Frankenthaler, who we will learn about when we get to the unit on modernism. She's an abstract expressionist painter. Let's see. Why are you taking this class? And for a lot of you, it's going to be because you need a credit for your humanities credit, and you didn't want to do theater because you don't like talking in front of people, and you didn't want to do drawing with me because you don't think you can draw. You can. I can teach you, I promise. Take drawing if you want. That's fine. If it's just for your humanities credit, cool. Tell me that. But maybe tell us, like, why did you take this one instead of something else? Maybe it's because you just like art. Maybe it's because you want to know more about it. I had a woman last semester in my class, when I asked this question, she said she was taking it because she'd gotten into an argument with her girlfriend about Vermeer, and she wanted to win the argument. So she took a class so that she would know. And I asked her at the end of the class, I was like, well, what do you think? You know enough about Vermeer now? Did you win the argument? She's like, I think so, yeah. So that was a pretty good answer. That's pretty specific and funny. Okay, the other thing, a lot of people, especially in online classes, like to see each other's pets. I'm super pro pet, that's fine with me. If you want to put a picture of yourself, your pet, your favorite artist's work, whatever, that's fine. Visual is good. Okay, so I will go first so you can learn some things about me. My name's Megan. You can call me Megan. We're in college, that's fine with me. If that makes you uncomfortable, you can call me Ms. Rosen, Instructor Rosen, Professor Rosen, whatever. I don't care. Just don't spell my name wrong. I know it's spelled oddly, but I really don't like it when people spell my name wrong. I use she, her pronouns. I studied, my course of study in undergraduate school, college, was art history, fine arts, and English. I have a Bachelor of Arts with honors in art history. Then for my first master's degree, I did studio art and theory. So I have what's an MA, it's an interim graduate degree, which is, I don't know, there's lots of, that's probably very boring for you, but anyway, it's a Master's of Arts. And so then I was either going to do a PhD or an MFA to get a terminal degree, which is the highest degree level you can get in your field. So if I went the art history route, it would have been a PhD. I decided to go the studio art route, so I have an MFA, which is a terminal degree in my field. It's a Master's of Fine Arts, and it is in painting. So I'm also a painter, and I did that in San Francisco. So I have my second graduate degree is from the California College of the Arts in San Francisco. So I am originally from Springfield, as I said. I lived in Oakland, California for a while. I went to graduate school in San Francisco. I moved back to Springfield in 2018. I have many favorite visual artists. Helen Frankenthaler, as I mentioned before, is probably my very favorite. Oh, the other thing I want to know is, what kind of music do you listen to? Who's your favorite band or musician, or what you've been listening to a lot lately? This is from last semester, so I was listening to Fiona Apple's Fetch the Bolt Cutters a lot. I've actually kind of gotten back into the Smashing Pumpkins lately. I saw them, they played in Camdenton for some reason, which was really random. My husband and I went, and so I've been listening to a lot of like 90s alternative rock, which is from when I was young, and I like it a lot. Why am I here? I am teaching this class because art history is one of my specialties. I am now full-time at OTC as of last fall. I had been at MSU for about 10 years as an adjunct, and I was an adjunct here as well, and also at Drury University. I also taught out in California for a little bit, but now I'm full-time at OTC, so I'm exclusively an OTC person, which I love. I love teaching here. I love my students here. It's super awesome. I live right down the street. It's perfect. It's great. At OTC, I teach this class, and I also teach Art History 1. Sometimes I teach Art and Experience. I teach Drawing 1. I teach Drawing 2. I'm the only person who teaches Drawing 2, so if you take that, you'll see me again. I occasionally teach Foundations of Design, and I teach Portfolio Development every spring. Okay, so here's some pictures. So here's Helen Frankenthaler with some of her paintings. So that's my favorite artist. Here are my kitty cats. This is Mimosa. We call her Mimsy. This is Uma, and this is Mr. Mustachios. Here's me. One thing you'll notice in watching the lectures is my hair changes a lot. I change my hair pretty frequently. This is very normcore, very normal hair for me. For usually it's green or blue or purple or something. So if you look at the old videos and you're like, who is this person with black hair or purple hair or pink hair? Where is my teacher? It is your teacher. I just changed my hair a lot. So this is my headshot from the gallery that represents me, I think from a year ago. So I had green hair at the time. But at the moment, this is me live now, June 6, 2022, and my hair's kind of this neutrally blonde color, which is it's very different for me. Okay, so that's me. So you'll come in here and you're going to post all this stuff about yourself, and then you're going to read everyone's post and find something you have in common with at least one other person and comment on their post what it is you have in common with them. And that's gonna help you guys get to know each other better. I'm trying to say y'all instead of you guys. I'm trying to use a non-gendered general greeting for people. Okay, so now you know about me, now you know how to navigate this class in Canvas. Last thing we're going to do in this video is look at the syllabus. So you click on course syllabus up here and it'll take you to this class. And I'm just going to go through it. I'm not going to read you every single thing. You're college students, you can read obviously. But basically this is an asynchronous online class. What does asynchronous mean? Well, it means that we don't meet. So not only do we not meet in person, we don't meet via Zoom all at the same time. You have access to the information anytime you want to access it. So that's what asynchronous means. Okay. I do have everything organized by due date in Canvas, and I would like for you to stick to that, to the to-do list dates and the due dates on the assignments, because if you don't, it can get kind of overwhelming because things sort of build up. Contact info. So I would prefer that you email me with your OTC email to my OTC email. The reason for that is because of FERPA regulations. I won't go into the whole thing, but FERPA regulations are privacy laws that apply to students in college. So if you want to ask me about your grade, you have to email me from your college email, from your OTC email to my OTC email, because that is how the rules work, okay? You can message me in Canvas, that goes to email. But I would prefer you just email me. Here's my email address. When you're addressing me, please don't spell my name incorrectly. You can call me Megan, just spell it right. I know it's weird, it's M-E-G-A-N-N-E, but I do not like it when people misspell my name. If you're in Springfield, my office is NKM 130B, so it's on the first floor of NKM Norman K. Myers. It's kind of right next to the general education office. So if you need to see me during the summer, because I only teach 2 classes, I'm not here as often as I am during the year, so I don't have regular office hours. So I would appreciate if you just send me an email. I'm happy to meet with you in person in my office. I'm happy to meet with you via Zoom if you're out of town or if that's just easier for you. That's fine by me. Just email me and we'll set up a time. This is my office phone number. Because I'm not in my office as much during the summer, I may not answer your call, but I will get your voicemail. And like I said, email is always kind of the best way to get a hold of me. Materials. I have done away with the book in this class, so you do not need to buy a book. You do need to have internet access. Everything is done through Canvas, and all the lectures are recorded on YouTube and then embedded in Canvas. So you need a reliable computer and reliable internet access. You can buy laptops through the OTC bookstore, so if you have financial aid of some kind, if you buy things through the bookstore, that covers it. So if you need a laptop, that's a good option. Description of the course, basically we're looking at work from the Renaissance through contemporary, and we're looking at works of painting, sculpture, architecture, some drawings, some prints, all kinds of different work. This course does focus on the Western world, so we are mostly talking about work in Europe and America. I am gradually expanding that. As I've been developing the class, I'm adding more information about other areas because I think that that's good to know. The outcomes are the same kind of core experience competencies that you get in any of your general education classes at OTC. So we want you to be good at communicating, oral, written, digital, all of those things. Higher order thinking, this is really important in art history. There's a lot of critical thinking, a lot of understanding cultural literacy and understanding the context in which all these works were made. And a lot of the lectures all do little asides and kind of go into the history surrounding the work that's being made, so you have kind of an idea of what's going on. Managing information, being able to do research, that's a lot with our research discussion posts. Managing information is a big thing there. Also, always take advantage of the library and our wonderful librarians. They're such an amazing resource. They will help you do all the researching. They're really great. And valuing is being able to make informed decisions through identification of your own personal values and values of others through an understanding of how such values develop. And a lot of that is part of the context that we're going to learn for the artworks we study in this class. Grading is pretty normal. 90 to 100% is an A, 80 to 89% is a B, 70 to 79% is a C, 60 to 69% is a D, and if you have less than 60%, you fail the class. If you are failing, I will give you a heads up. I don't like it when students fail. I want all my students to succeed. So let me know if you're struggling with something and you need extra support. Reach out to me and I'm happy to work with you and talk to you about it. In this class, it's pretty simple. We have discussion board posts. Those are worth 15 points each. To get all 15 of those points, you have to make your original post, and it has to be fairly substantive. You have to tell us about the things that you learned from your research. You also have to make 2 follow-up posts responding to your peers. Quizzes are only worth 10 points apiece. They're pretty little, except for the modernism quiz, because it's huge, so it's worth 20, just because we cover so much more information there. And then your final exam is comprehensive, and it is 75 points. I give you a study guide for that, so you'll know exactly what's on it. It's also online, and it's open note. So even though it's comprehensive, if you take notes and pay attention during all the lectures, you should do just fine. Participation is 50 points. I can see how often you log into Canvas and what you click on and how often you're participating. So even though it's an asynchronous online class, I can tell how engaged you are. So make sure that you're engaging with the material, reading the material, watching the videos, all that good stuff. You have to turn in your work via Canvas. That should be pretty obvious in an online class. In my seated classes, I also have them turn everything in via Canvas. That way you have a nice record for yourself, so you can see everything, what's turned in, what's not turned in, and there's no like confusion or disputes. Academic grievance. If you think I screwed up your grade somewhere, please tell me. I'm human and I occasionally make mistakes. I'm so surprised, I know. Weird, professors are people. So if you think I screwed something up, please contact me. I try to be approachable and accessible, and I want you to be able to talk to me about stuff. So if you think I've messed something up, please tell me, and I am happy to look at it with you and figure out what's going on. If you do that and you still are unhappy with your grade, or you still think that I've messed something up, this is my department chair, Kat Alley, and there's her contact information. So she's my supervisor. So if you think that I've messed something up and you're not satisfied after talking to me about it, contact Kat, okay, and she'll take care of you. Proctored event, there isn't a proctored event for this class. Attendance, it's an online class and it's asynchronous, so people are kind of confused about attendance. You still have to attend, okay, attend, meaning you still have to come in, you have to watch the lectures, you have to participate in the exercises and things, because if you don't, you will not do well in the class. And administrative withdrawal still applies, which I think is discussed down here, yeah. Academic integrity, don't cheat. Pretty easy, right? You don't have to do a full research paper where you cite sources and things in here for your discussions. Just read a bunch of things and then kind of regurgitate them to us in your own words. Attendance, you need to be on, like I said, not only can I see how often you check in on things, but so can Dean O'Connor. And Dean O'Connor is the one who oversees things like academic withdrawal. So at OTC, we have this administrative withdrawal policy where if you don't attend class for 14 consecutive days, you are automatically withdrawn from the class. So Dr. O'Connor will email me and say, so-and-so has not been in your class for 12 days. They're very close to administrative withdrawal. Then I will generally email you and say, hey, you're about to be taken out of my class. What's going on? And if you give me an answer where we can work on stuff, that's fine. Or if you don't see it, you get withdrawn and you want back enrolled, email me and we'll talk about it. And I'm generally happy to re-enroll you. Okay, we have great support services at OTC. We have our disability support services groups they're just awesome at their jobs. They're really great. So if you need help with anything, please contact these guys. Also, we have all these other great college resources. If you are having some kind of problem, reach out to me and I'm happy to connect you to any of these resources, but also you can click on these and check these out. We've got really, like I said, a really great support team here. One thing I always like to point out is that we do have counseling resources. You can go get counseling as an OTC student, which is a really cool thing to take advantage of. All kinds of help here. So if you aren't sure where to go, but something's going on, reach out to me and I'm happy to help direct you to assistance. I will post a schedule here by the end of the week that has a breakdown of the whole semester. I generally do it week by week. But the way that I organize things in Canvas, if you go to modules, you'll see that you have dates here anyway. Even on pages to view, you have dates when I think you should view them. And you also have due dates for quizzes and for reflections and for discussions. So I'll also do a breakdown calendar that I'll add into the syllabus, but you can navigate that by Canvas as well. Okay, looking forward to getting to know you all this summer. And if you have any questions, please email me. I'm happy to help answer anything or support you however I can. I really want you to do well this summer. I love teaching this class. It's maybe my very favorite class that I teach. I love art history too. So I look forward to getting to share all of that with you, and I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day. All right, bye-bye.